Hi guys, it's been a while since I have posted a video. Life has been a little surprising and crazy lately. I don't think I've posted a video in like over a month. And I'm starting to get messages from people asking where I am, which is really sweet. It's just so endearing to me when I get messages like that from people saying, just wondering what's going on, where you've been. Sometimes I forget that I have like connections with these people kind of all over the world, and you guys are just awesome. So thank you for those of you who have checked in and checked up on me. Everything is okay. This year on YouTube, I've just been kind of absent in general. It's been obviously a whirlwind of a year with COVID and everything going on with that. I've shared how we are moving to Nicaragua. Anyway, so I'm just going to rewind here. The last time I was kind of posting videos consistently was in the summer sometime. And it is now December 12th today. And, I had shared that we were going through a foster care goodbye, and it was just like an emotional time, which happened. Then we closed our foster home. I shared with you guys that we were moving to Nicaragua to become missionaries. We feel God has called us to this. So we are going to be working in Nicaragua with orphans and vulnerable children and families. There's just been a lot of preparation to get everything ready for going. Just paperwork for residency alone has taken up so much time. Finding a house. It's just, there's been a lot. And my birthday was October 8th and I turned 34. And well, maybe I'll just show you this picture. This happened. Hi, little baby. So I'm going to rewind to there and just kind of explain where I've been, why I haven't been posting any videos. So my birthday was October 8th, just before Canadian Thanksgiving, and I'm pretty regular. My cycle was supposed to start and it did not start. And I knew we had a little bit of a close call. Just kind of been doing natural family planning or natural family preventing, I guess. So I knew we had a little bit of a close call, but I didn't, I'm 34. I didn't think I was going to be pregnant. Truly didn't. So when my period didn't come, I was like, I'll wait till the weekend and I'm not taking a test or anything. Like, I truly did not think I was pregnant. I was feeling fine. So this was a Thursday until the Friday. So that whole week, my best friends were all bringing me a meal. There's 5 of us, sorry. And they're just all amazing. So that whole week for my birthday, they were covering meals. Great. Monday's meal was great. Tuesday's meal was great. Wednesday's meal was great. Thursday's meal, I was kind of like, just not feeling myself fully, but still could eat it. Friday, my friend who went to culinary school and is an amazing cook made this amazing bacon maple glazed pork something or other with roasted, like all delicious things. And I couldn't eat it. Like, I just felt so sick, and just looking at it and I thought, uh-oh, what does this mean? Still hadn't got my period. So I went out, that was Friday. The next day, Saturday, I went out in the evening and picked up a pregnancy test. And I was like, okay, I'll wait till Sunday morning because my cycle is usually between 26 and 28 days. The odd time is 29 days. But I was like, by Sunday, it's 29 days. If it's not here, I will take a test. Still not thinking that it would be positive. I can't remember, but the kids wanted to come with me. I was like, no, I'm just going out to run and grab something. I went to just the dollar store to get the cheap test. That dollar store was out of them. So then I didn't want to risk another dollar store being out of them. So I just went to Shoppers and got the most expensive test. And I woke up at like 4 in the morning on Saturday. And like, obviously I'd just been thinking about it since Thursday. And I was like, I can't wait till the morning. Like, I'm going to take it right now. So I take the test again, not expecting to see 2 lines. And immediately I saw 2 lines. So I was in shock, excited, but in shock. I pretty immediately from that weekend started feeling sick and just kept getting sicker and sicker. And I didn't want to tell my husband. We lost our first baby at 9 weeks pregnant. Due to my age and like I hadn't been eating overly healthy. I hadn't been taking prenatal vitamins, anything like that. I was just like a little bit worried. We're saying goodbye to our foster son that coming Tuesday. So like 3 days later, we had a goodbye coming up. So we had lots going on with that. I just like kept the news to myself. said goodbye to our son, foster son, which obviously, knowing I was pregnant, kind of softened the grief of that goodbye. You know, he's living with a family member who loves him so much, and it's a good, happy ending for him. And, you know, obviously it was sad for us. He was with us for over 400 days, and we raised him since he was an itty bitty newborn. But just knowing that I was pregnant and not planning on being pregnant, it just felt like such a sweet gift from God, like just the timing of it all. My 34th birthday, Thanksgiving weekend, and then like right before this goodbye that we had to say. So as shocked as I was and like anticipating everything that we are about to go through, moving to a developing country, like all of that, I still was just so thankful. And I had this very like sweet feeling inside. And literally like a week before this, not knowing I was already pregnant, my husband made a comment about getting snipped before we leave for Nicaragua. And I was like, wait, we haven't had that conversation. I've kind of always felt like 4 was our number. And for a while it was looking like we were going to be able to adopt our little foster son. So I thought, okay, maybe he's the one that's meant to complete our family. And then when things changed from that, I just still felt like our family wasn't complete, but we were moving to Nicaragua and now wasn't the time to have a baby, and I'm getting older. Do I really want to do this again? Like all of these feelings. Love to adopt in Nicaragua, but we won't be, you have to be like a citizen, and we'll be residents. But I think it's 5 or 7 years you have to be a resident before you can be a citizen. And by then I'll be close to 40, and we're going to be working with orphans and vulnerable children. We're, one day hope to start like a foster care model children's home or children's village. I know lots of kids will be in my future, but I still didn't feel like our family was complete. So I don't think Greg and I would have really agreed on timing, and then it possibly could have been too late biologically as far as just getting older. And I was just kind of wrapping my head around like 3 is what God wants our forever family to be. We have Lilia, Marissa, and Rosie. Like 3 is what our forever family will be. Anyways, in that conversation, I was like, wait, we haven't talked about that yet. Like, you can't get snipped yet. Like, anyways. And he was like, well, I should before we go. And we kind of just like shelved that conversation and didn't complete it. Little did I know, or little did we know, I was already pregnant at the time. So I just kept getting sicker and sicker by the day, and I was so tired. I was sick with Lily and Marissa. So I'm just going to back up here. I have not been pregnant in over 8 years. In about 8 years, sorry. My oldest biological daughter is 8, almost 9. My younger biological daughter is 7.5. And then we started fostering when our biological kids were 2 and 3, we started fostering. And then we adopted Rosie a year ago, and she's now 3.5. So that's just kind of been my life. And just like having biological babies was, I always expected that I would have one more before we started our adoption journey. And when I told that to my husband, he was like, no, I think it's now that we start. So always in the back of my heart, I felt like there was still one more baby that was meant to be birthed from my body. If that makes sense. Like it was just always there. That longing, that desire in my heart was kind of always there. But the older I got and just like circumstances of our life, I just never felt like it was a clear time, or I never felt like, yes, like we want to do this. Greg and I weren't really on the same page about it ever. Like Rosie has some challenges that as she ages, we don't know what that's going to look like. And we want to be able to be fully committed to caring for her in the best way possible. And then just what we're getting involved with moving to Nicaragua and helping kids there. It just like never really seemed like the perfect time. So I just love how good our God is, and like he knows the desires of our heart, and he knew the timing wasn't great, and he knew that we probably wouldn't have made that decision, but I just feel like this baby is such a special blessing. But I knew telling this news to my husband wasn't going to go as easily or wonderfully as it has in the past. So our first, not planned, super excited. He was excited. Then we had lost that baby when I was 9 weeks pregnant. Our second with Lilia, we were trying, and it was like, I don't know if I'm sure some of you have experienced this, but after you lose a baby, like there's just this overwhelming urge to get pregnant again and have a baby. So that was our experience with Lilia. So when I finally got a positive test, like, it was a super exciting time. With Marissa, my husband and I were arguing about the stupidest thing, and we very rarely argue. We thankfully have a very solid, amazing relationship, and I was really emotional about like having to cancel a trip or something, probably for financial reasons, and I was crying and just upset about it, and he's like, are you pregnant? What is wrong with you? And yeah, Lilia was only 8 months old at the time, found out I was pregnant. And then the next day my husband had like a really serious break to his ankle and was bedridden for like 6 months. So that was, she was an unexpected blessing, but it was just kind of like not exactly overly excited at the time, but also thankful and excited because we were having another baby and Lily was going to be a sister. But this time I just knew, literally from the conversation we had about him wanting to get snipped a week prior, to knowing we're packing up and moving our family to Nicaragua and all of the change that is going to be. I just knew it wasn't going to go over that well, or that I wasn't looking forward to telling him like I have in the past. Let's just put it that way. And not that I didn't think he was going to be excited, but I just knew it was going to be a shock. And we just have so much other stuff going on. So I'm so sick, tired, sleeping all the time, getting sicker. It's been 8 years. It's a lot different being pregnant at 25 versus 34. Like, I'll just say that right now. That is my experience anyway. And I had like a 3-hour nap that day. I wanted to get my blood work and my early dating ultrasound before I told my husband. I just wanted to like make sure everything was good and okay, and I wasn't going to be having another miscarriage before I kind of gave my husband the shocking news. He came in and just kind of made a comment like, you just had a 3-hour nap, you're going to sleep again? So there was no cute pregnancy announcement for him, anything. I was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And he was like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. He's like, you're not serious. Like, totally thinking I was joking. And I was like, no, I am. Like, I'm 100% serious. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I'm like a couple weeks pregnant. I found out on Thanksgiving weekend. And he just got up and walked out of the room. Now, I don't want you to think my husband is like not grateful and happy about this news, but it was just a shock with everything we have going on. He comes back in and he's like, does this mean we shouldn't go? We've been trying to get to Nicaragua for years. We've had it on our heart before Rosie even came into our life. We just know that God is telling us that that's our future. But the timing just never seemed right. And it always, we had Rosie, and then fostering her, we were committed to seeing where that went. And then her whole adoption process taking so long. And then because her adoption process took so long, we took this new little guy in, and then it was looking like he would need adoption. So we were like, okay, how long are we going to be here? Are we supposed to be here? Like, we just kind of felt confused. So Greg was just like, does this mean we're not supposed to go? And at this point I had closed our foster license. And I was like, no, that's not what it means. Like, people have babies in Nicaragua all the time. So he just needed some time to process it. I was beat tired. So I was just like, I'm going to bed. We'll talk about it tomorrow. So that's kind of the funny way that he found out. So then the next day he came in, he gave me a hug, and, we talked about it, and babies are a blessing, and we're just, how are we going to do this? Like, are we going to come back to have the baby? Are we going to have the baby there? All of that kind of conversation had to happen. And then it was like, I don't want to tell people yet, like, because we're going into missions and ministry, there's already a lot of obstacles for that, as far as our family and language and just getting settled and finances and all of that. So telling people that we're adding an addition to our family in the midst of all of this, I just know people can be judgy and have things to say about it. So I didn't want to tell anybody, even friends, for a while, because we were still processing it and like, how are we going to make it all work? So I wanted to have an ultrasound first before I told any friends anyways, but I was so sick, and I was getting together with my mom friends weekly at that time. And like, we always drink coffee together while the kids play, and I like didn't want coffee, and they probably didn't notice, but I felt like they were noticing. And they're just like such strong prayer warriors for me. So I wanted to have them be praying for this baby. So I told them when I was just a little before 8 weeks pregnant, and my one friend She's a CrossFit instructor. She like hugged me and I was like, okay, I can't breathe. Like, you're hugging me so tight. Everybody was pretty shocked, but they're all so happy for me. One of the other mom friends in that group was pregnant too. She's about a month, 6 weeks, I think, farther along than I am. Anyways, so it was exciting to tell them and have them be excited for me and just like have a great reaction from them, because you know, my own reaction was shock and Greg's reaction was kind of shock, and the logistics of how we're going to do all this. So it was just great to see how excited they were. And of course they were asking about the logistics of it all too, but it was just a good experience overall. So then I had my ultrasound and a dating ultrasound. I was pretty positive I knew when my last menstrual period started and all that. So I went and I measured pretty much on track with like 1 day off of what I should have been. So after that, we told our family, and this video is already getting really long, so I'm going to make another video with our kids' reactions and then my parents' Greg's parents' reactions, my mom's reaction. The kids were super excited. They were confused because they thought we were getting another foster baby. But anyways, I'll make another video showing all of their reactions. And yeah, thank you for listening. This is a really long video, but I just kind of wanted to share what's been happening and why I haven't been on. I've been so sick. I'm just feeling better. So I am 13 weeks tomorrow. I just had another ultrasound. I think everything's looking good. They asked me to come back for a follow-up, so I'm not really sure what that means. I'll find that out from my doctor this week. So please pray that everything's okay with this baby. They wrote down measurements and everything looks fine. The baby was moving and heart beating and everything. So I'm not sure why I have to go back, but hopefully everything's okay. Yeah, I guess it's time to announce it. 13 weeks officially into the second trimester now. We have decided to move out when the kids finish school, December 18th, and move in with my in-laws for a couple weeks. And then we have our flights booked for January 5th when we move to Nicaragua. We'll be going through Costa Rica. But yeah, this video is long enough, so I'm going to end it here. But thanks for watching if you watched till the end, you know, just for listening for this update. Life has been just kind of insane the last couple months, just in preparing, finding out I'm pregnant, the move situation, friends moving in. We now have 11 people living in this house. So 11 and a half if you count the little bean. Thankful, grateful, blessed, as cliche as that little saying is. But yeah, I'm just so grateful. I'm just cuddled up on the couch here, but I'm just so grateful that God blessed us with this little blessing, and just praying that everything goes well. I think when you've had a loss, you just always have like in the back of your mind, like something could go wrong at any time. Like that innocence of pregnancy is definitely taken away when you have a loss, and it's, especially when it's your first or, you know, recurring or anything like that. So as much as I, you know, try not to worry, and I don't worry, like God is sovereign and is in control of it all, I still don't want to have to go through that. So obviously been having a little bit of anxiety in this first trimester. So feeling better about all of that in the second trimester. Like I said, hopefully I get good news next week, whatever the issue is with the ultrasound. Just feeling really grateful, really blessed, and really excited. So excited to tell our friends in Nicaragua. I'm excited to have a baby there. I'm also really like, I'm trying not to think about it too much because I just don't even know what that looks like, or yeah. But again, that's a video for another time. So now that I'm feeling better, I hope to start making videos a little more regularly. I'm thinking of making 2 channels and keeping one separate of like just our journey to Nicaragua, and here we'll stay kind of more motherhood stuff and adoption. I still want to like share with foster parents and connect with foster parents, but I'm not, you know, actively in that role anymore. So in some ways I feel a bit of a disconnection making videos about foster care. So I don't really know. I need some time to pray and talk it all out with God and see what he wants me to do with this channel and my blog and all of that. But I do think I'm going to start a new channel just kind of documenting our Nicaragua journey. So when that is up and ready, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, thanks for being here. You guys are awesome. I love connecting with you and having this online community of amazing women. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.